You really believe an election would be in the interests of Ukraine and not in your personal interests?
Це точно в моїх інтересах, тому що
Ukraine's former Defense Minister Mykhailo Fedorov has agreed to answer my questions in an in-depth interview just days after he dramatically criticized the government of President Zelensky and called for wartime elections. He is 35, the popular former minister who was widely credited with modernizing the armed forces and bringing drone technology to the battlefield, saving lives on the front line and, increasingly, taking the fight to the Russians. But he was sacked by the president when he was understood to have fallen out with the head of the military. There were protests calling for his reinstatement, but his intervention appears to have fallen flat. So what is next for him, for the president, and for the future of Ukraine?
Ukraine's former defense minister. Hello, Mr. Fedorov.
Hi.
Good to see you
Good
again.
to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you for making time for us. Is still holding the line. How's your week?
Oh, it was a difficult week.
Urging political change and elections despite the war.
Велика кількість людей почала говорити і
A
підтримувати.
huge number of people started talking and supporting the idea of coming back to the democratic cycle. And I believe that neither Putin nor the president of any other country can speak about our own democracy. We are the only ones who will decide what we do going forward. That's what democracy is all about. If I cannot share my ideas and be open about them, then what are we fighting for?
You really believe an election would be in the interests of Ukraine and not in your personal interests?
Це точно в моїх інтересах, тому що я хочу, щоб війна закінчилася.
It's definitely in my vested interest because I want this war to be over and Ukraine to become a successful country. So yeah, this is in my interest for sure. But of course, it's also in the interest of all Ukrainians. But if you are asking whether it will be useful for my political future, if I were thinking about this, I would not have made this statement.
What do you believe is the president's awareness of corruption?
Я думаю, що краще це вам
I think that probably you better ask the president about this. Do an interview with him, have a conversation with him in front of the world.
на увесь
Do you
світ.
think he has questions to answer?
Я думаю, що готовий, чому ні.
I believe that he is ready. Why not? That's his responsibility to explain whether he was aware of all that or not. I don't want to make any assumptions.
Do you think he may be a corrupt politician?
Дивіться, за увесь мій час роботи з ним
Look, in all the time that I worked with him,
не отримав
not a
задачі,
single time I received from him any
яка
task that
порушує
would go
закон.
against the law. I can talk
Я можу
only
говорити
about my
тільки
personal
про,
experience.
свій.
Is there more the United Kingdom could do to provide better support to Ukraine?
Я хотів би, по-перше, подякувати
I
Великобританії.
would like to thank the United Kingdom for your constant support,
Я думаю,
for your
що
involvement in the coalition of the willing.
анонсовано.
I believe in delivering faster what was already announced, simplifying the bureaucracy, and procuring more stuff produced in Ukraine. Governments are lagging behind on the reality on the ground, and this is the question not just for the UK.
Нам не потрібні
We don't need just announcements. We are better off with less, but better quality and faster. We need exactly what we need in this historical stage of our development. We don't need repairs of tanks when we no longer use tanks. Unfortunately, our losses, our blood, our military experience is beneficial to all of you. So we are not only fighting for our freedom and democracy, we are also fighting for your safety so you can build your own security system, which will guarantee your protection in any future wars to come.
за вашу безпеку.
If you get the election you've called for, will you run for president?
Взагалі зараз не можу про це.
I cannot even think or talk about this right now. I will be ready to discuss it only when the elections take place in this country. Because if I think about running for president, I won't be able to stay unbiased.
It's reported that you're going to make a visit to the United States of America. Is that true?
Так,
Yes, yes.
Are you hoping to meet Elon Musk?
так. Це було б непогано.
That would be great.
And what would be the purpose of meeting him? What are your requests to him now?
Ну, по-перше, вже не
It's not a secret now that if you switch on a Starlink of the territory of Russia for Ukrainian drones, we'll be able to protect our country, as we'll be able to destroy all the ballistic missile launchers inside Russia. And that will be a game changer. Secondly, there are other questions because Ukraine became one of the first countries in the world where the direct-to-cell phone SpaceX function was implemented. With that, you can connect mobile phones to satellites. So there are lots of ongoing projects that I can discuss with him. But despite all that, I would definitely start by thanking Elon Musk for what he already helped our country with, by switching off Russia's Starlinks, when he allowed to switch on Starlinks over the temporary occupied territories. Lots of companies from Elon Musk's orbit help us, Eric Schmidt, Microsoft, Google, and they will be investing into our victory. And we need to stay in touch with them, regardless of my position. And I need to stay in touch with them for my country.
How tough do you think this winter could be for Ukrainians?
Я думаю, що ми її переживемо гідно.
I think we'll survive this winter with dignity. We will meet this challenge with our chin up. Last winter was tough. We had some days without 2 to 4 hours of electricity. In my house, I didn't have heating. I mean, I was the Minister of Defense at the time, but when my wife and a small child lived there, that building was not heated from January. But we survived. So if you have hope, if you believe that today's sacrifices are done for the sake of bright future, then you can easily survive any winter without heating. But this hope should be present. And in my video address, in my communication with the Ukrainians, I'm saying you should fight for your hope.
Why do you personally have a continuing exemption from military service now you're no longer in the government?
Я розумію, що робити далі.
I have a clear vision what needs to be done in the future so that we can achieve better results in this war. Thanks to my knowledge in attracting foreign investments that would allow us to defeat the Russians every point in the technological cycle. And I believe that I'm serving my country in this regard.